because I just reinstalled my operating system, I missed that. So everything before this everything before this point was not recorded, okay? But this point on, it's now recorded. I'm glad you brought that up, Jojo. I'll give you a thumbs up, bro. So I've now just switched my OBS on to record as well as streaming, okay? So I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, like, it's not really important the stuff before. I mean, it is and it isn't, but it's going to be very much the same stuff as we go through everything, okay? Right. So with the Fibonacci, again, Fibonacci by default starts at 1 and ends on 0 when you're pulling left from right. Okay, we don't like that. So let's take this little reverse. Okay, so now it starts at 0 and it goes to 1. That's how I personally like it. Okay. Right, now let's have a look at some of these levels. Okay, so for a start, let's make this a little bit grayer there. Okay, let's make this the same one. Okay, 382. Go through, just tick all these to be sort of relatively the same, except for the 618, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, let's make this 786 slightly darker there. Sorry about that. Okay, let's untick these for a minute because I don't want them. Okay, so this one I'm actually going to make 1. Okay, 786 is now going to be 0.666. I've forgotten what it was. 786. Okay, this one is now going to be 0.786. Okay, now the 618, I want a golden pocket. Let's try and make it a bit more golden, shall we? Okay, right. So here, this is where we want to make the colors available to us a bit more pronounced. Okay, because again, we want to make it easy. Okay, for us to see. Now we could just go through and tick every level that we see. In fact, I don't like the dots. I'm going to stick to the lines. Makes it a bit easier to see. Okay, so the 382, I'm going to make a light green. No, not the 382. Sorry, the 236. Okay, and then the 786 also going to make a green. Let's try and get them the same color, shade of green. Okay. Why am I doing that? Okay, because if you have a look here, I'll just close this down for a minute and use the arrow. So if you have a look here, if you've missed your entry, it's come up to 0.236 now. Okay, and now it's gone up to 382. There's a Hold on, I'm chatting bubbles right now, guys. You should give me a slap. Okay, because you wouldn't even know this was an entry point until it's already up here, would you? So like that's no good. So I'm chatting bubbles here. I'm going by what the chart's telling me rather than what I want to see. Okay, and this happens this way. You've got to keep an open mind when you're trading. Why you should make things easier for you to see. Okay, right. But anyway, if it was to come back down to the 236 here, we kind of got a problem, So I'm just gonna turn the 236 back to grey. I'm just going to stick to what I normally do rather than mix it up with what I've seen people do, because it kind of makes sense when you see other people do it. So I'll stick to what I do, okay? Right, so at the same time here, let's have a look. Labels, center, middle, no, right middle. Yeah, let's have it at the right middle. Text, center, middle, font size. I don't think, can we do text? Oh, we can, yeah. Font size 14. Got values, percents. Leave it at values, okay. Turn the prices off for now. We don't need the prices, okay? Coordinates, that's like if you manually want to tweak the specification, okay? But the trick for that, let's draw this exactly the same. Right now, let's get the fib. So if you hold down control, hold it below the candle, it will go to the bottom of the wick, okay? If you want to do the candle body, okay, you just go above the wick, but below the candle and hold control, and vice versa when you're above, okay? And then below the wick, it'll grab the body, okay? So with the fibs, I don't mind doing wick to wick, okay? So let's have a look from here. Oh, add text. Cool. Golden pocket. This will be cool. I'm not going to do it on the bottom because that's big enough, isn't it? Everyone knows what it is there. Okay, now from doing it left to right, okay, the thing is, you don't need to worry too much about the right except for as you're going, but from the left, if you want to zoom out and see how that level portrays, so, you know, I keep it to the right, keep it nice and tidy, everything's on the right for information. Okay, that's how I do it. You don't have to do it, you can just leave it bog standard, but at least change your colours or remove the background, just keep it so you can see the levels. Why is one blue? Oh, there you go, because I'm a donkey. And it's that one. Okay. Okay, so for now, okay, I want to save this template. Okay. So save drawing template as default, because that's going to be my default drawing now. Okay. But the problem is what if I want to go, let's delete this. Okay. So I've just shown you I'm doing a left to right. Okay. What now? What if I want to see where it's going down? You know, all of a sudden, let me delete this one. All of a sudden, no, that's still right. Okay, that's fine. 0 and 1. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's how I do it. Cool. So for some reason, I had a weird setup before where it would invert it if I needed to. Okay, so that's my Fibonacci levels. They're pretty much basic, just very simple. You got the golden pocket there, okay? Okay. So by the way, I haven't like pre-recorded any of this. I'm going through it as I'm going through it with you guys, so it's real and raw. So I'm gonna kind of screw up in a few places. Just got to bear with me. It's how we all learn, right? The devil's line is the golden pocket. Well, the golden pocket is respected on Bitcoin quite well. But for example, if you go on Cardano, okay, let me just flick that all onto automatic scale. Okay, go on Cardano, and when I was trying to trade this whole range before, it wasn't really respecting the fib levels all that well. Yeah. So I mean, backtracking it would be fine, but going forwards it wasn't really. So like here, you'd open along and you'd expect it to come up to the golden pocket, but it didn't. Yeah. And again here, didn't. So then you're constantly drawing fibs, and it wasn't really respecting the levels. But when it's actually moving, when Cardano is actually moving, respects the levels quite well. Look at that. So when it's come up initially and come down, it's bounced straight off the 0.66, and then it's come back up, and then come back down, and it's respected the 6.6 again. Sorry, the 618 here, so the bottom of the golden pocket. Then it's bounced off the top of the golden pocket. I mean, all right, it wicked down, you know, but you know, can't get it perfect every time. So let's go back to Bitcoin. That's dominance. Okay. Swing low to the highest point. Yep, every time. You know. Now saying that on the 4 hour, okay, on the 4 hour, for example, where I do the vast majority of my TA is done on the 4 hour or the daily. Okay, primarily on the 4 hour. And the reason for that is because I'd go from here to there. Hold on, I'm doing this backwards. Let me scoop out. Okay, my first pull will be from the low here. Okay, this is how I've done my TA so far on Bitcoin, and it's not failed me really yet. I'm trying to get the very bottom of it, but it let me zoom right in there. Okay, to the very high there. Okay, so that's my first pull, which tells where the golden pocket is so far for this move. Okay, let's have a look. I would do another pull from here. This one you could do from here. It's perfectly valid to pull from here, but I'd argue that it was too close from the first pull. Yeah. So you're going to have a lot of confluence there. I'll sack it. I'll add it. Okay. And then you've got another one here. Okay. Up to the top. So look. Sorry, trying to snap it on. It's just as small for me as it is for you guys. Don't want to sweat it. Oh, no, that's wrong. From here, the joys of 4K monitor, eh? Come on. There. Okay. And then, so you go from the lows each time. Okay, that one would be too close. I'm going to go here. Now, the reason why I'm going from here up to the top. Okay, 1 second. Once I click it. There. Okay, so that there I'd say was a good pull. This one I'm going to delete. And I'm going to delete this one. Okay, now all of those levels would have been respected if I zoomed in, but the problem is it then clogs it up too much for me. Okay, so this low here was really the very lowest point in this current cycle here before it pushed up. Okay, this point here was pivotal because right after that it shot. Okay, it shot straight up, so that was a very strong rejection there. Okay. So now, once we've got that, let's zoom in. What I'm looking for now is for a bit of confluence. Okay. Well, in fact, first off, let's mark up the golden pocket, shall we? Okay. So this is all default again, guys, because I'm going through it. So as I set it up, you can set it up if you want to do it how I do it. If not, you can just do it how you do it, but sort of follow along. Okay. But it's important that you set it up correctly. Okay, so let's make that make the right to white. Just 1 pixel borders. I don't think it really matters because it's rectangular. Okay, now we go to settings, extend right and extend left. Okay, do I want the middle line? Not really. No. Do I want a border? Not really, but it's going to force me to. There. Okay. Make it transparent. The background opacity. Okay, I'll leave it 20%. I forgot to change that. Text. Do I want to put text in? Yeah, why not? Inside, center, and then golden pocket. Pockety. Pockety, pockety, pockety. Wait. Yes, I'm from the UK, FCAS. Yes. Whereabouts are you, buddy? Okay. So, the reason why I've got that in center middle is it'll move as you scroll in and out. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing it like this, I'll explain in a little bit why I'm doing that. Okay, now we want to save this as the golden pocket. Okay, and then again, Now this time, because I've already saved it, I just need to do that. I just need to click on that, and I just need to go Golden Pocket. There you go. Okay, and it's done the whole thing for me right there. Nice and easy. Okay, so we've got the long term, the mid term, and now we want a short term pull. Okay, so for a short term pull, I'm going to make it real short. From here, this is the lowest point. As you can see, it respected that there. Okay, bring it up to the top, and you've got another golden pocket sat just there nicely. That's golden pocket. Okay, let's make it there. Okay, now sometimes the writing won't show up, and the writing won't show up because it's too narrow. Okay, now we're looking for confluence. Okay, we've got quite a bit of confluence. If I zoom in here, okay, got some confluence here. Okay, now this time we want to change this color to, let's make it a white, shall we? It's about 20% transparent, and then we're going to want a black for text, setting, confluence. Okay, save drawing template as confluence. Okay, and then what I'll do then is I'll do the same here. In fact, this time I'm going to use a horizontal line, but I'm going to make it 4 pixels. Okay, because you see it join those two lines up perfectly. Okay, now if I go to settings, go to style, text. Okay, I can't actually confluence. How does that show up? Okay, so it's not quite right there. Middle center. Okay, the black isn't very visible, is it? So let's I don't want it a too dark color, but I don't want it too. Okay, I'll keep it like that. Okay. And then for the line color, let's have a look. Style, do the line. Again, we don't want it too in your face. How does that look? That looks okay, doesn't it? Okay. Right, and now if we just save that as confluence, so it saves having to set it up again. So going forward, all of this makes it a lot quicker for when I do my TA again next time. Okay, so we've got a strong bit of confluence there. It's quite narrow, which means it's strong, and that is on the 0.786 and the 0.5. Okay, I can't extend that left or right for now, but I'm just going to draw that out to there. Now I'm not lining it up on any of the candles. I'm using the lines of the fib. Okay. Yeah, multiple. So in particular, the Fibonacci. Okay, so at the moment it's where the multiple Fibonacci lines up, and the multiple drawings of it. Okay, so I've got a start down here, and then I've got it again here. It's actually not there. Okay, and then as the lines get closer together, it creates some confluence. Okay, so it's quite interesting to get that confluence. Let me just now the one thing by doing the small rectangles like this, okay, you kind of do need to extend it a little bit to give yourself a slightly bigger area to be able to grab from if you ever need to move it or adjust it for whatever reason, okay? So, but when you're placing it, if you just want to be quick, just drop it in, okay? You don't have to be perfect. Spend all your time trying to be perfect, you're never going to get it, because no one's perfect and nothing in life is perfect, with the exception of me. Cool. Right, okay. So, okay, so this is now where we come over to this point. Okay, so you see over on your object tree. So normally this is how we have it. We have our watch list, and we've got our alerts. We've got logs, whatever logs do. And then this point here, okay, your object tree and your data window. Your data tree helps give you key interesting facts. Okay. Particularly open, high, low, close, change it, etc. All that can be found up the top if you want it up the top. Okay, but I turn it all off. The object tree is what I'm interested in here. Okay, so now if I select the fibs and just the fibs, right click and create a group of drawings. There you go, it's grouped them all together now. So then just rename, do fibs. Okay, that's my fib pools. Okay, now the rectangles. Okay, same again. Create a group of drawings, rename. So this is going to be fib boxes. Okay. Horizontal array. Now I've got to figure out that's daily, that's weekly. Okay, so let's rename this one to daily. Okay, the reason why I'm renaming these like this is because they're dynamic. They change. So every day they're going to change. Okay, or at least the daily is going to change every day. The weekly is going to change every week, and I should also do a monthly, but you know, now that horizontal array, this is going to just rename this to Confluence, and I'm actually going to put this in fib boxes. Okay, because if I hide it, it's all gone then. Okay, it's nice and easy. So now what I actually want to do, clean the chart up a little bit. Let's turn the fibs off. Okay, there you go. There's my levels currently. Okay, now the one thing to notice now that we've tidied this all up. Okay, one thing to notice here is in fact that the weekly high. My dog just made me jump. Then he just come through himself on the beanbag. The weekly high is right at the bottom of the golden pocket here. Okay, so if there was to be a retracement, okay, we could kind of expect it to come down and retest that and then come back up. Okay, but we kind of had that here where it come up. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. You alright, mate? Sorry, let me just mute up. My lads just wake up. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Sorry. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to take this minute just to make another drink while we go through this. I mean, I'm apologising for the delay. I'm not apologising for my son, if that makes sense. So can you guys see the value in why it's nice to have a nice clear chart and why it's important to set things up easier? I mean, you don't have to set it up the way I'm setting it up, but it's just nice to have some sort of coherence in the way it's set up. So then that way it makes it easier for you when you're doing charts. All right, cool. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so where was I? What was I saying? My chart looks like a 5-year-old did them. I should get my son, bro. You get him to do it. Okay, so we can see it kind of already retested the weekly here. Now, if we zoom in, okay, let me make this a bit more clearer. See that? So the weekly was here, so it popped up, it failed initially, then it come up, it retested. That should have been your indication on that candle close that we were going up. Okay, so it's on the weekly high, bounced perfectly off it. You can't get any more perfect than that, guys. Look, it's smack on it. Okay. Right, let's put this a bit more tangible now. Okay. So now we've got the daily high, which we need to try and break. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to get my bearings again real quick. So down here, it bounced off the top of the golden pocket. Here it front ran the golden pocket. The confluence hasn't really shown much strength here, but it did initially along this bit, which is good to take into consideration. Okay. Okay. So I'm still trying to get my bearings again. You know when like you're on a roll and then something unexpected happens and comes along, it kind of throws you off a little bit, doesn't it? So I kind of lost my bearings here. But right, my favourite, let's have a look. My favourite right now is the parallel channel. Absolutely love this channel, mate. Okay, so if I draw it from the bottom here, okay, let's have a look. If I draw it to the top, yeah, I'm kind of happy with that there. Would it be? Or no, I'll do it from there. Okay. Now, it's just default channel, okay? So as it currently stands, it's no good. No good information, okay? But for a start, I want to turn that background off. Okay? Because like that just looks to me that looks horrible. So I'd turn the background off, okay? So I can still see the candles and everything else. So the middle line, okay, just bog standard dashed line, okay, at 0.5. Okay, you don't need to worry about these extra levels at this point, but do change the colors. What colors should we have for the channel? Let's have a purple, why not? So dark purple do. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it? Okay, teal. I guess, is that teal? Would you guys say that was teal? Or would you say it was blue, or would you say it was green or aqua? But that's better, isn't it? Can easily see that. And then I only want to extend it to the right. Okay, I don't want to extend it to the left, and I'll tell you why. From here, I just do a box for now. So from that's horrible, isn't it? When it covers everything. Hold on, change the settings. Okay, that'll do. From this point to the left, that is all old information that's irrelevant right now. Well, in some ways, being colorblind can be a blessing, I guess. So that's all irrelevant because the price is moving to the right. Okay, so like it's always updated, and what we want to do, we want to predict based off our previous levels. We want to predict what it's going to do, but also the channel is a good indicator. Okay, so at the minute, if it fails the retest, let's do a line here. I'm not holding control this time. Okay, let's do this as 2 pixels, and let's make it. Yeah, that's a nice color. Okay, settings, text. Let's keep it slightly different, and then do a retest. Okay, so now what we're watching for is to see if this is going to retest this, the top of the channel. I'm going to save this retest just because I actually quite like the way that is. Okay, now if that fails the retest, it's coming back into the channel. Okay, so if it comes back into the channel, we're looking golden pocket to weekly high. So primarily, if it fails, we're coming down. I don't expect it to come straight down. It could. You've got to factor in every possibility, but if it doesn't, it's going to come down. Okay, now we already know that this is quite strong here. Okay, because that was our indication to go up there. But you've got to be prepared for that. Okay, so then the next thing is if it bounces off this channel, off the channel top, it's going to continue going up. Hopefully. So hopefully it will smash the daily high. But then where do we get our profit levels from? Okay, so let's have a look at this tool. Trend-based fib extension. You can find it on the 3rd module down, and it's the very second one. Again, favorite it. Okay, use your favorite bars, guys. Like, they're so important. Okay, so we're looking. This was probably your entry. Okay, and you double click when you place it. Okay, now here, because this default, it doesn't give you a lot of information. Okay, you're initially going to be looking at that and you're going to be thinking like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? So let's again remove the trend line. We don't need it. Okay, now it's handy to see where you're drawn from, but come on, let's face it, like if you can't remember where you're drawn from, you've got bigger problems. So from here, we will keep the get rid of the 236. We'll keep the hold on. Actually, I did actually write these levels down. Let me have a look on my Discord. Sorry, 1 second. I made a note of this because these are like they're standard, but they're not standard. So the 236, I've actually got the 214. Okay, I'm going to make this a bright green. Okay, let's get rid of the 0. We don't need that. Okay, then we've got the 382. Keep that bright green. Then we've got the 618. Okay, bright green again. Just make sure it's all the same green. And then, all right, let me turn all this off for a minute. Okay, 0.618, and then from here, this was the 786. So the standard, except for that first one. Okay. So now what we want to do, we want to turn background off. Although to be fair, I quite like that little line separator, but we don't need that. We're not reversing it. Okay. We only want the prices. We don't want the levels. Okay. And then where's the extend lines right? And we will put the labels at the right middle. Seems good. Text center middle, font size 14. Let's make that. Okay. And the reason why I changed the font size is because when you're on this bit, this is where you add the text. Okay. So you put take profit. Okay. And I'd recommend doing it on every single one. And this is more of a psychological thing again. Okay. If you just do it on the top one, you've got these levels, although you know to yourself that this way you're looking to take profit. Okay. Although you know that, if you only have it on the top and you haven't got a lot of time and you're just having a quick glance and you have a quick glance and you see the three green solid lines and then the top one that says take profit, if you haven't got time and you're like me, I get confused quite easily. I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, right, okay, I don't need to take profit right now. Okay, so that's going to remove some bias from me. Let's have a look. If I've got this all set up right, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so if you entered here, it peaked up there. So you'll take profits now. Okay, the reason why you wouldn't be looking for a take profit right now, in my opinion, okay, it is purely because you're looking for a retest. Okay, there hasn't been a retest on this breakout. Okay, so if it breaks out here, you'd want to put your stop loss. Okay, but like this for if you're already in the position. Okay, let's clarify this. If you're already in the position, yeah. If it breaks below the retest, I'd have your stop loss just under. Yeah, allow for a wick, so probably down here somewhere. Let me see if I can. Let's do a minus 0.382. What does that give us? Let's make that red. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Look at that. Okay. You miss out if you don't wait for the retest. Yeah, you can do. Yeah. You know. So and then here stop loss. Okay. So that's just under, but like you may want to extend it just to allow for a wick. That's personally preferable, okay? But for hard values, I wouldn't recommend more than that if you're already in the position. Okay. Now you can use this same tool when you're looking for an entry, and I'll show you how in a little bit. Okay. So right now this goes with what I said a minute ago. Okay, if it retests, it's gonna come back up. Okay, so the first area you're looking at about 113,000. Okay, so let's now save this. Let's stay on track here. So this will be positioner. That's what I'm going to name it, just a positioner. Keep it simple. Okay, so whenever I want to use that, that should now just be my default value. Okay, let's close that for now. Okay, don't follow along with anything that I'm showing right now. Okay, if you jump into a trade while I'm showing you it, my analysis isn't finished. Okay, I'm just showing you what I do. So if you jump in now and you lose money, that's on you. Okay, it's nothing to do with me. Like I'm just going through the charts. So
Where was I? Channels. That's it. Did I save this channel? No. So default there. Okay. So it's important to save more because then if you need to use it again, for example, let's do a support resistance very quickly. All right, hold on. Let me rename that as retest, and then I'm going to put these in a group. I'm just going to rename it channel. Okay, because then that way, as I do this, like if I'm looking for a retest, for example, down here, I can just move this around. That's fine. Okay. So if it fails that retest, it's obviously going to come back down test here. So I'd be looking to see what it does around here. Whereas our support resistance, let's have a look. So you've got a resistance flipped support now. Would it change the channel or the path to something new? Well, this is what we're predicting right now, okay? So if basically it comes down and it retests the top of the channel and bounces off, this channel could then possibly be invalidated. Okay, and what we could possibly be looking at, and I'll tell you now, I'll draw it from what I can see. If that's the case, is that okay? So you see how that channel there lines up its valid. You've got the one touch, the two touch, you've got multiple touches at the top, the bottom you've got two touches. You only need a channel to have two touches to be valid. Okay, that's all it needs. Now, some people prefer more, some people prefer less, and some people will tell you that that is not a valid channel because they prefer more touches. Okay, but at the same time, look at it, it's still respecting the midpoint. Yeah, let me draw it with an arrow so you can see it. Yeah, so it's respecting that midpoint relatively well. So this could be a new channel. It could be, but you don't know. Okay, so that's why I haven't actually drawn that channel yet. But that's what's possible on the retest. Now, if you zoom out, that would kind of be great because you see how it goes parabolic, and then all of a sudden it's gone parabolic, probably up to 120 by Christmas. If it kept that channel, let me draw the channel again. Kind of hard when you zoomed right out, but there and there. Okay. All right, now if we zoom back out, it's a narrow channel. 24th, 25th, 118. Yeah? So it's perfectly possible to do 120k by Christmas if that channel is true. If you know how to use Twitch, snippet. Save it as a short for future reference. Okay. But if it doesn't retest it, then it's coming back down, and then we've got to reassess again. The thing with technical analysis is you've always got to reassess. Okay, if you don't reassess, then your analysis could be wiped out in a second. Okay, your positions can all be wiped out. You've got to constantly assume. Okay, which is why I do it on the 4 hour. If I do it on the 4 hour, then I've kind of got a bit of leeway. Like, okay, if it fails here, I'm looking about here. You know, I want to be out here, but I'm looking for another position here. So I'm thinking one step ahead. It's chess. Okay, that's all it is. Chess. Sorry, my lad's woke up again. Sorry, 1 second. He's not very well at the minute. Sorry about that. He's got a poorly tummy, bless him. Right, okay. So, yep, support and resistance, same thing. We've got support here. Okay, so let's change this. Support we want nice and identifiable. Okay, settings. Let's make this slightly darker. Support. Okay, that looks fine. And then we just save it. Save drawing template as support. Okay, save. Resistance. It's going to be the daily high on this point. Okay, but for argument's sake, I'll draw so there was resistance here to start with. Okay, so for here, I'm going to want let's make it purple. And then settings, just type, let's make this a dark purple. Resistance. The reason why I'm not doing it red or orange, that's a bit too dark, can't really see that. That'll do. The reason why I'm not making that red or orange on this occasion is because it's easy to confuse yourself on that. I mean, in fact, no, I'm actually going to make an adjustment. Okay, I'm going to make this red. Okay, because it makes more sense logically for it to be red. So that's resistance. Let me save drawing template as resistance. Save. And then the retest. Okay, let's delete it from here. Yes. The retest I'm going to make purple because it's not anything really important. It's just like a marker, isn't it, really, for a retest? You know, it's just an objective. So draw and test as retest. Makes sense. Makes a bit more sense. Okay, so the support and the resistance then are now set on there. That will come in handy because we'll have a look through some charts in a little bit. For now, I'll remove that. So we've got support just below the retest. Now, obviously, what you'd want to be looking at here, I wonder if that is actually where I've got the take profit from here. Let me have a look. Stop loss, sorry. I done it on the wick, didn't I? It's just below. Okay, so like in that situation, you probably want to put that just below the support. Okay, because you're expecting a retest. You've got a bit of support, so you could allow fluctuation to come down just below that support before it comes back up. Okay, you could possibly allow that, but if it comes down to the support and comes back up, great. But if it hits the retest and then comes back down to the support, that would be an invalidation of it shooting up higher in the next couple of days, in my opinion. Okay, so we want a couple more support points. So we've got the other thing to look for with supports is the flip of the resistance. Okay, so I see quite often when people are placing supports, they just go, okay, down here, for example, is a support. Okay, but that would be a weak support. I mean, it's technically not wrong because it found support there, but the problem is that it didn't. There was no retest. Okay, like there was no retest at this level to confirm that, other than this big giant ass candle. But so that will probably be a better example. Okay, so it found support there, but then there's no retest. It hasn't flipped anything because it's already done it all. Okay, that's just a liquidation event. Okay, so this one here is more valid. I'm actually going to ask you guys, okay, why is this top one more valid than this bottom one. Okay, let me mark that as support. Tell me, guys. Yeah, you usually go with 3 retests. Yeah, that's cool. That's yeah, a good rule to have. Okay, so it's basically the top one's more valid than the bottom one because there was no retest. The retest on this one was here. Okay. And it flipped it. Yeah. There you go, game. There you go. I think there might be a bit of a delay on my stream. I don't know. I'll have to have a look in in the settings later. Yeah, exactly that. It bounced. So basically, it's come up. Okay, it's flipped it. It failed. There was more support here. Okay, so this would be more accurate to place it down here, which if you see, okay, be more accurate to place it there than at the top of that one. Okay, top of that one is kind of placed because it's in line with the candles, but this one's a bit stronger in the sense of it's come up, it's retested, and it's bounced off. Okay, let me try and zoom in for you a little bit. Hope that's better. Okay, so the only difference here is like it's not even a percentage, I don't think. 0.94, so 0.9%. Okay, but from up here, that support there, although it's valid because it respected it here, okay, it's not as strong as if it was there, for example, where it's bounced off, okay, then it's come back up, it's broke through, it's flipped it, come back down, retested, shot off. Okay, so that's where I'd have the support there. Okay, but again, I mean, if you're quickly placing it, there'd be nothing wrong with it being there either. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got 2 levels of support here. There's no point doing anything in between because the weekly high is also now support. So in terms of Bitcoin, that concludes our analysis right now. Okay. So we've got our channel. Okay. So this is another thing about channels as well. Okay. They're good for finding the trend. Okay. So the only thing I'd primarily use like a trend line for example, would be something like this here on the 15-minute. Okay. So if I'm trying to match up the candles to see what's going on. So like there. Okay. So that's the trend. It's broke the trend. So now it's currently looks like it's possibly going in a downtrend, which we already expect on the 4-hour anyway. Yeah. We're already expecting that to at least retest the top of the channel. So, so that's kind of what I'd be looking there. Now on the 1-hour, okay, this is where you're able to, you've done your main bulk analysis there, which has probably taken, I don't know how long it's taken so far, 1 hour and 12 minutes. Okay, with a couple of pauses, a couple of confusion moments. Okay, but now let's have a look on the 1-hour. Let's put the trend in. Okay, there we go. I'd say that's valid. Touch, 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 touch. Okay, so now we're kind of, if I wanted to be specific, let's have a look. Can I? Yes. Okay, so if I'm clicking onto these candles here, okay, the midpoint matches up nicely, particularly with this bit. Okay, it matches up nicely here as well. So let's keep that channel on the 1-hour. Okay, so we're on the midpoint for the 1-hour at the minute on the channel. So what can we expect here? Okay, so this is where it starts getting fun. Okay, so I say fun. I mean, I find it all interesting. I'll pull that to there. Okay, that bounced off the 6-6 perfectly right there. Perfectly. To the dollar, guys. Okay. And I just realised that 666. I don't actually like that. That's the comment for your Devil's Pocket, wasn't it? So I've just clicked. See, I'm a bit slow, guys. I'm a bit slow sometimes. Come on. Right. Okay. But it bounced off perfectly to the dollar there. It's come up. So we could, if it holds here. Let me draw this. Okay. If it holds here, we can expect to see higher. If not, we're going lower to at least this sort of level. Okay, 103. Yeah, I know. I was only an hour late from that joke, Jojo. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Okay. Oh, that's embarrassing. No. Right. So yeah, if it holds this point here, right here, let's do the retest. I'll allow for a bit of fluctuation and place it at the bottom of that candle. Okay. It's outside the rounds of the midpoint, but we've got to allow for fluctuations. Okay. So if it breaks that, we're definitely going lower. Okay. So look, and if you want to, this is the good thing about the 3 screens. Okay. So this was the 1 hour. I sync the crosshairs up across all of them. If we have a look, the retest, that's the bottom of the candle. That's support. Yeah. For that midpoint. So we've got 2 areas of retesting here. Shorter time frame, longer time frame. And now let's have a look on the 15-minute. And this is how easy analysis can become. Once you've got it all set up, let's have a look from here now to, I'm actually going to allow that for the channel. There, I've got my 1, 2, 3 touches, and other touches here with a little bit of fluctuation. Why did I do that? I just clicked. Oh, no, wrong thing now. I'm having a complete brain fart moment here. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then, okay, if I was to click there, that's not too bad. It kind of falls back into the channel there, which tells us that we're going down to at least 105. But we are a bit more on the bullish side, aren't we, lads? I mean, this where comes to speculation. I mean, really, I should have that there. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Okay, because this is noise. It failed. It come back down. It's kind of failed, but it's holding. So for now, I'm gonna have it there. So I'm gonna be good. Okay, which tells us here. Okay, that's a 105k on the midpoint. 105.4. Let's do a retest. Okay. Now the retest, obviously, what happened to that? There we go. Okay, so the retest obviously moves as time goes on. As long as the price stays above, this will keep following that line upwards. Okay, so we've got a retest just below the 1 hourly. Okay, which is probably more likely because we've broken back into the channel and we're coming down on the 15-minute. So 105.3. On the 1 hour, we've got the retest at 105,666. Really, 666. Where was it? There. Let me just. I don't like that number. Okay, that's the retest. I don't like it, but that'd do. Right. So there's like a $300 fluctuation between the 15-minute and the 1 hour. That is a good bit of confluence, especially on Bitcoin, where a 1% move is $1,000. Okay. So yeah. It's gonna be bad luck. I mean that's true, isn't it? So I mean I can't change the numbers because the numbers are the numbers, Jojo. I can't do nothing about that, man. Stigma. Okay. Now if it comes back down, we're looking 104 down here, which lines up with, let's get the horizontal ray. Let's have a look. Back here, we're gonna have support on the short term hourly. I'm going to do it on this candle top here. Okay, let's do that as support. Okay, so the bottom of this channel, the very bottom at the minute, 104,619. We've got 104,460. So like $200, not even that, of confluence in that zone. Okay. So we've got support there. We've also got support on the bottom here, which is at 103. Now let's have a look. If it goes to 103, where are we on the long time frame? Okay, so we got that don't match up there. That'll match up there. We got more support there. Okay, 102,668. So $400 difference there. So that gives us, okay, this is how you can use the shorter time frames to play into effect with your longer time frames. Okay, just by doing that didn't take long at all. Okay, we were at an hour and 15, we're at an hour and 21. So that took 5 minutes to go through the 15-minute and the 1 hour to give us another level on the 4 hour. Yeah. So now that is a 102. 1037, 1027. So that's a 1% area right there. So do you know what I'm going to do? Okay. I'm going to do this. Not have the middle line. In fact, no, I will add the middle line on this one. And I'm going to mark it gold on it solid. Keep the borders off. Keep the background on, but what color do I want the background? I want a color I haven't had before. That works for now, I guess. Extend left. Okay. And then settings again on text. What was I going to call this? That's it. Area of interest. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay. Inside right. Okay. Now what I can do is, if I get these support lines, let me do it this way. Yep. Okay. Okay, they're all support. So create a group, rename support. Okay, and then I can just toggle them off. Yeah. Okay. Now you see here where I've got the confluence. Actually, I left that as a line. I was going to change that, but it doesn't really matter Okay, let's just toggle that off. Okay, so now I've got an area of interest. Okay, so this is now where I'd be looking for a potential position. Okay, in case it come down based off everything else that we've seen here. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that because I don't need that on there. Okay, with the top ones, with the 15-minute and the 1 hour, I don't really need to sort of put them into separate channel categories because that's not my main analysis. My main analysis is being done here on the 4 hour. Okay, so this area of interest. Oh, there we go. I'm actually gonna extend right. Do I want to extend left? No, just extend right for now. Okay, text top right for it, make it a bit tidier. Then, just for argument's sake, make it a bit longer. Okay, and then I want to save this as interest for now. Okay. So do you kind of see how you start building the picture, how you can start identifying the levels? You're trying to make it so it's not so cluttered. It's going to become cluttered, but imagine if I left everything on. Hold on. Right now, that's everything right there. Okay. Now if I zoom out, it kind of like it on the face of it, you're like, how do I make sense of that? Yeah. So this way it's group it up. Only show, like keep the drawings there, but only show what you need it to show. Yeah, no worries, JJ. It's all good. I can like the stream recording will be up for you guys anyway. Where to enter into a trade, so it's just based on support zones. Okay, well this area of interest at the minute, that's pretty much based off support zones, isn't it? So I mean, I've got the support at the top and the support at the bottom from the other two with the midline. Okay, now what's interesting if you zoom in is it pretty much just there front ran the midpoint in between those two supports. Okay, so it's hard to gauge. I mean, all I've done here really, if you think about it, is support and resistance and trend lines. That's it. Okay, so in terms of an entrance, like so, yes, I've used a channel, but if you didn't know, the channel top and the channel bottom, they're also support and resistance points. Yeah, exactly. You could do if it bounced on the retest, which is the top of the parallel channel. You know that's right now a support. Okay, so if it bounces, you could potentially have an entry here to go higher. Let's have a look. So let's do this one here. So from the start of the channel to where it's broken out of the channel. Okay. So in fact, hold on, because it adds a stop loss as well. Let's do this. Okay. No, we're looking for a retest. So if it does a retest here, okay, there you go. So if you enter down here on the retest, okay, your stop loss is down on this confluence point, which is again, yeah, but I mean this is now how you'd find a position. Okay, so because I've gone from where the channel started to where it's broken out with the possibility of it retesting. Okay, so you'd have your circle there. Okay. So using that trend-based fib extension, we've already got our take profits and our stop loss. Okay, the stop loss is already at our confluence point. Okay, so the confluence point, if it goes below that, you want to be out. If not, that is a really strong stop loss position. You know, if you were looking for a position, I'm already in a position at the minute. Let's have a look. I'm only $6 up because I haven't put a lot in. I put $1.28 at 200 times, so I've only made $6 so far. You know, but that's 482% up. You know, but yeah, that confluence I'd drawn ages ago, right at the start. That was one of the first things I did. Okay, and the stop loss. If you're looking for an entry now, that stop loss is bang on it. So it's good to see how the levels line up. That to me validates the analysis I'm doing. Okay, when I'm drawing more lines based on other stuff further into the analysis and they're coming up at the same levels, that tells you, or it tells me that I'm doing it correctly. Okay. I could be completely wrong. Like for all we know, like Bitcoin's gonna, you know, excuse the expression, it's gonna shit the bed, and we're gonna go down to 50k. That I've got no control over that, but I can only go from what I see on the chart, and from what I see on the chart is if I was to enter here, that's kind of where you want to put your stop loss. You know, that's where you 100% want to be out. Okay, 100% you want to be out at that point. Okay, for this trade setup. If you enter it now. Okay. In fact, I'll bring that back up. But look at the target. That's 118k. So, right, let's do. Right, this is. Let's have a look at the settings. Okay, let's start making these numbers roll up. Okay, so this is going to be entry 1. Okay, and I'm going to make it gold. Text and style, I'm going to make it gold. Again, is that the right color gold? I don't know. Okay, so then I'm going to rename this when I can figure out where it's template, rename there. Entry 1. Okay, I'm going to name them entries. They're not actually where I'm looking for the entries. Okay, right. So that's 118,492. Okay, let's get rid of this for a minute. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Where did I actually enter on this? I entered at 103,620. So I was a late entry on this one. Right, hold on. Right, I put 120 there, didn't I? Right, let me show you something. I've shown this on multiple streams, I think. But I want to show you all again to make these levels add up. Okay. So from here, we've got a giant cup. Okay. You want to get it to the bottom. Okay. So there's your cup. Now we want to get 50% of that. Quickest way is from here down to the bottom here. There you go. Okay, use a very simple horizontal line. Just mark it out. Okay, that's your 50%. Okay, past that point, the cup and handle pattern would be invalidated. Okay, so because it's not been invalidated, it come down to let's have a look. There, 48,910 is where it come down to. Okay, but right here, this is where we actually want to use the trend line tool. Okay, so from the top to $48,910. I'm on a 4K monitor, so it's kind of hard. Okay, 48,940. Then you want to do it from the breakout. Okay, that gives us a price target of 90k, which we smashed. You know, at 90k we smashed, and then that was that breakout. Yeah. Okay, I did have it ages ago. I can't remember how I done it now. How I come up with 120k from that cup and handle. But let's do it this way then, from the bottom to here. Okay, there you go. Look, 119 right there, 783. You can't make that. You can't make that up. So that would actually be the. I didn't actually save it. Let me save. I'll just name this position. Save. And now this one, I'll put that as position 2. Okay. That was the trend-based fib extension. The same tool I've just shown you for up here, mate. Exactly the same tool. Okay. So that tells me, for me, this tells me like, you know, like I've been saying 105k for probably since about April, March. I've been saying somewhere like 105 to 120k. Okay, for this cycle, that's what I'm expecting. The more I do these charts, okay, like I'm doing kind of the same thing over and over and over, so it's kind of obvious that I'm gonna, you know, come up with the same conclusion. But when it's the same conclusion over different time periods using different tools, and I'm coming up with the same numbers, like I've got to follow those numbers, you know. So that those two there, here to here, okay, that's going to be an interest zone. Okay. So for me, these interest zones. So trying to select it, and I've got a big monitor at 4K with whatever. Okay. So that's where I'm primarily going to be looking for shorts. Okay. I mean, you can play the channel, short it, long it, whatever. For me, I think this level here is primarily where we're most likely going to peak out on the run. Okay. Now, I did do another one where we hit 150k, and that was based on maths. Okay, so I'll very quickly, I've been through it before in a previous stream. I'll just very quickly go over it again. Let's go to the daily. Okay. So, and it was very simply something like this. Okay, so I got the very bottom to the very top. Okay, let's say 649.28. Okay, so let's write that. 649.28%. Okay, all right. So now we want to divide that by half. Okay, let me get a calculator quick because I'm too tired to do it off the top of my head. 649.28 divided by 2, 324.64. So let's write that here very quickly. 324.64. Okay. All right, let's delete that. Now what we want to do is from the bottom to the top. Okay, I mean like there, that's 672% there. Okay, so I'll scrap this for now. I don't know what I did wrong there. But that was 648% on the last cycle. So if we go from the bottom to the top here, that's at the top here, 673%. Okay, which is possible. I'm just going to stick to that because look, half point is there. That's where I was getting the half from. Okay, so the half point here, there. Okay, so the 324% would be from this point on this breakout. I mean, it's not. Hold on. I wonder if this is where people are like, that would be insane, wouldn't it? That would be insane. 300k Bitcoin this cycle. That would be absolutely insane. It's not going to happen. I'd be surprised. But yeah, that's probably where I was getting the half point from. And I'm getting tired. It would be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be insane. But I'll have to figure out where I was going with that because I've done it multiple times. It's in one of my other streams anyway, and the stream recaps are up in the Discord, so you'll see how I did it there, half in it. But it comes to the same value or about 150k. Okay, so there's a small possibility it goes to 150k. If the trend from last month would have continued, I would have believed it. Yeah, if it kept going up like that, yep. One thing maybe you're not thinking about is this. Okay, it shot up there, didn't it? And then it stabled out, and then it pumped up again. Okay, that's what it did last cycle. Yeah. So let me zoom out. So it went up, stabled out, went up, stabled out, and then a pump to the upside. Okay, so like when you're doing an analysis, you've got to look at patterns. And the only patterns you can see is the repeats. So let me see if I can figure out how to snip that part of the chart out a sec. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice now. There should be a way. Bars pattern, is that it? To there. Okay, that made it quite a bit bigger. I didn't want to do that. I want to move it. Okay. I mean, it's not far off, is it? That's just like changed my whole plans there. Look at that. That's telling us it's gonna dump and it's gonna dump hard. I mean, it's possible on that pattern there. Look at that. All right. Make sure your positions are safe, guys. There's a small possibility, you know, possibility that could happen. I'm actually going to leave that up. That's quite funny, honestly. Um, but yeah, let's make it a bit more. Okay. There. Huh. Yep, there is a lot of people in crypto now, which is good. So these candle bars on the indicator are volume based, by the way, which is a good point. Let me talk about. I'm actually going to hide that. Hold on. I'm not going to remove that. I'll leave that there for Friday. Okay. Right. My indicator. A lot of people messaging me. How do you use it? What's going on? You know, they're like, "Oh, I love it. It's great. How do I use it?" I don't know what to say. I mean, like for a start, let's have a look. Right on my profile. Let's go over it. Scripts. Okay. Look, I didn't write all this out for no reason. Okay, but people don't like reading, so that's fine. Okay, I just want to point that out because I'm a bit, you know. Right. For a start, okay, this is what you want to do. You want to right click your chart, go to settings. You want to make sure you have body and wick off because if you have body and wick on, they're like that. You get the default red and green candles, which by the way is a market psychology tactic for people like you and me to panic. Okay, because everyone teaches you go long, green is long, green is good, red is bad. Green is good, red is bad. Okay, we've got it in the traffic light systems when we're driving our cars. Green is go, red is stop. Okay, so while we're stopping, people are buying. Okay, and when they stop buying, we buy. Okay, so it's a bad mentality. All right, so have a look. Let's turn body and wick off. Okay, now the bars are now based on volume. Okay, let me try and find. Yeah, let's add it on for here indicators and let me search volume there. Okay, so where there is increased volume, it colors the candles. Okay, where it's normal or deemed normal volume, it doesn't color it. Okay, so the white is technically green, the dark gray is technically red. Okay, if you still want that mentality. Okay, and then where it's normal, regular patterns, it's white and green. Where it's increased, but not exceptional, but it's an increase of volume, it is blue and purple. Blue is green, purple is red. Okay, and then where it's above, like where it's exceptional, it'll be green or red. Okay, let me see if I can find a green candle here. Don't know if I'll find one on Cardano on the hourly. Can we see one? Can't see one. Give me a green candle. Nope, doesn't like me, does it? Doesn't want to give me a green candle on the hourly. Plenty on the red. Slightly different criteria on the downtrend. But I mean, it still works out about right. It doesn't want to give me a green candle on Cardano, does it? Not on the hourly anyway. Right. But let's have a look. Yeah, that's too far out now. Okay, so let's get rid of the volume. So you no longer need volume because the candles will tell you directly. Okay. Which I find personally is far better. Okay, now there are vector candles and stuff like that. These are not vector candles. Okay, these are volume based candles. Right. So the next thing, let's have a look at. Go back to Bitcoin. Okay. I've got some indications of, if I go on the 4 hour, okay, I find the indications work a little better on the 4 hour. Okay. So in particular, caught the bottom. Let's caught the bottom. Let's caught the bottom. Let's caught the bottom. Caught the top. That's a false positive. Caught the top. Caught the top. Kind of. Okay. Now they are not buy or sell indications. Okay. They are literally just indicators to be used with the rest of your analysis. Okay. So like none of this has actually flagged up here since. Okay, so I'm still waiting for another green to print. Okay, usually when the green prints, you know, like that, so much where it's not happened prior. I think it's because it only goes back to a certain amount of candles. But if I go on the daily, zoom out, so you can see it's not quite as accurate on the daily, but it prints still, and you could probably reverse it, green and red. You know, there's a little bit of work still to do. 4 hour, definitely, it's a lot better. Okay, still not printed the green X. Okay, now the other thing is when you zoom in further, one thing it does like printing is these little dots, as someone called them. They're actually meant to be circles, but they're absolutely tiny unless you zoomed in. Okay, these are just hammer candles. Okay, that's all they are, guys. They're just hammer candles. But so many people fail to realize the significance of a hammer candle. Okay, you get some false positives like this one. This is technically a hammer candle as per code deems it. Okay, but the hammer candles you're really looking for are these babies, like this. Okay, because they're indications to be bullish. Okay, there's no bullish or bearish hammer candles. A hammer candle is always bullish. Okay, now the upside down hammer candles like these, okay, inverse should I say, hammer candles, they're actually trend indicators. Okay, so when you see one of these, they're a indication of a potential trend reversal. Okay, so like let's look at the hourly here. We've got a couple trend reversals here, which printed, which, let's face it, happened. So we've come down, not by much, and then we've come back up, in which it printed another trend reversal, to which we come down. Okay, now it didn't print another one here, but we recovered. It printed another trend reversal to come down. Okay, at this point it printed a bullish hammer candle. Okay, now yes, it dipped, but then it printed. Okay, same here, we've got a bullish hammer. Okay, So yes, it dipped first. Okay, but it kind of printed there, and it's come back down. I mean, it just bounced off the channel line there. Okay, but off the information we've got, that's it. It could bounce here and come back up here. Okay. So this is why I say that they're just it's just an indicator. That's all it is. Okay. Now the more interesting thing, okay, that really stands out. Okay. The hammer candles are so useful, by the way, guys. Like people just don't pay attention to them. There's also the MAs. Okay. Now, if I remember right, yeah. So you've got the 7, 10, 25, 50, 100, and 200 MAs. Okay. They're EMAs. You can change the values yourself if you prefer. These are just what I use. Okay. Now you can turn the candles on and off here as well if you don't want them, by the way. You can turn the MAs off if you just want to use the backgrounds. Okay, if you just want to use the background, make it look a bit nicer, and it's same sort of like it'll flip. Okay, so if you just followed that, you can't really lose money just following that. Let's face it, there's a short, and then there's your long, there's your short again. You know, I mean, like it tells you to short there. Like you can't really lose money if you wanted to go through that. But you're not going to get the tops, you're not going to get the bottoms, you're not going to get ideal entries. Okay. I personally leave these lines up, and I'll show you why, because you probably noticed it when I was doing the bulk of my analysis, but I didn't mention it because I know I'd have to talk about the indicator. Okay. But look at how it bounces off the MAs. Yeah. So like when all else fails and you're not sure what's what, I can look. Yeah, it's another tool to verify support my TA. Yes, that is exactly what this is for. Okay, it is not. It is not for a buy now, sell now indicator that you see hundreds of thousands all over the place. Okay, because they're just nonsense, guys. They're just nonsense. Okay, if you get one of these indicators that tells you to buy and to sell, guaranteed it's going to make you lose money, because it might work for the first 5 or 10 times and you'll think, yeah, I actually like this, okay, let's go all in, and it's going to take everything, and then what? You've lost because you got overconfident, because it's telling you to buy and sell. This indicator, you use it with your analysis to complement each other. The more stuff that lines up, the easier it becomes. Okay, so I bring to the forefront the hammer candles for you. I can't explain how important they actually are. People don't pay attention to them, which blows my mind sometimes. The inverse hammer candles, they're for trend line reversals. The one I really wanted to get is actually on the daily. I forgot to add it, but it's actually the doji. Okay, and I'll tell you why I wanted it. Because was it over? Where was it? Let me just double check. So it's around here. Yeah, just there. There you go. Okay, the doji candle printed on the daily in March. And I said to people that when this printed, that it meant that this was going to change. Okay, we'd just gone from down here all the way up, and I saw the doji candle, and I said to people that was kind of it for the time. Okay, and people didn't really listen. But what happened? Just ranged. Okay. And I think it shows better on the weekly, does it? Yeah, there you go. Even better on the weekly, right there. You know, and the doji candle, it is a trend change. That doesn't mean we're going from up to down. It just means that the trend has changed. Okay, so as you can see here, we've gone up, and then the trend changed, and we went sideways. Okay. And then here we had a hammer form. I mean, it doesn't pick up these hammers because they're not coded correctly, should I say? I mean, they are coded correctly, don't get me wrong. It's just the margin of error. It's either we allow to pick those up, and then it floods us with 100,000 of false positives, or we tighten the restrictions so it only gives us 100 false positives, for example. Yeah. So unfortunately, the criteria didn't actually pick them up, but that's a perfect example of what I'm saying, because we've had the doji trend change. Okay. And then at the end, it's printed. Let me use the brush. A bullish hammer. Okay. And then it's printed an inverse candle hammer, which is a trend change again. The trend here was sideways. It's just printed a bullish hammer followed by a trend change. What happened? We went up. Okay. The trend is your friend until the end, guys. Someone I know says that repeatedly, and it's true. I mean, I don't actually know the guy, but I've followed him since 2017. He's absolutely an amazing trader. I can't say his name. He trades off Elliott wave theory is how he does it. Completely different style, but that is 100% correct. Okay, the trend is your friend, and that's why my style of trading, I prefer to go off the trend. Keep it simple. Why make it harder than it needs to be? So yeah, so I kind of got sidetracked a bit there, but that in a nutshell is my indicator. Okay. And pretty much how do you use it? Well, it can be used in a variety of ways. You can use it as I explained it all there, what everything is for, or you can use it to, let's have a look. So you could use it to look to open long positions based on the ribbons. Okay, now the ribbons, they look good on the long time frame, the color wise, I think. Okay. Or for example, on the shorter time frame, okay, for scalping on a 15-minute, it's actually not bad for it if you're just looking for quick scalps, okay, because it works off the EMAs. But again, if you go in sort of like where is it here? It's like here, if you go in midpoint, you probably wouldn't make money there. But like the EMAs work like elastic bands, don't they? Yeah. So if that's your midpoint, when it's below that, you'd be looking for long setups. Yeah. So that's your midpoint that you can clearly see on the way the EMAs move, just the way it changes the color. Okay. When it's below, you're looking for a long. When it's above, you're looking for a short. Okay, simple way of doing it. But obviously, you want to try and find the actual positions. Okay, so how do we find the actual positions? Like, so you got your bullish hammer, your trend change. So it went up, and then here it gave a marker that at this point, this quite significant. That's why it's an X on a trend reversal. Okay, I'm not gonna say what my criteria is for that because I haven't seen anyone else do it the way I do it. Okay, but then from that trend reversal, it's basically quite strong, rejected. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping for another trend reversal. So where it's gone, where it's come down, and then got the reversal, it's come up, and then it's printed a reversal and come down. So, like, you know, it's a good little indicator. I wouldn't take it 100% as gospel. You know, always coincide with it. As I was saying, back to scalping. For me personally, if I wanted to scalp, I would turn off the backgrounds. Okay. Turn off the backgrounds. You just got the EMAs. You can color the EMAs to whatever you want the EMAs. Okay. And what you're looking for your positions is when the 7-day crosses the 10-day. Okay. For a long. Let me try to find a better example. So here. Okay. 7-day crosses the 10-day. That's your entry. Okay. And then as it comes up, the 7-day crosses back down over the 10-day. Yeah. So let's cross that. That's your exit. Okay. And then you're looking for where it crosses up again. So you'd be here. Okay. That's your entry. And where it crosses again there, that's your exit. Okay. Now, the point of this, again, you're not getting the tops or the bottoms. Okay. But that's still 2.5% scalp there. It's a 1.9% scalp. I mean, you could have got out up there if you wanted, if you're happy with that. You know, because the other way you can do it. Let me just delete these. Okay, is where the EMAs cross over the candles or cross under. Okay, so let's have a look. EMAs cross under, so your entries here, and then cross over your exits there. Let's have a look. It's a 3% scalp. You know, so that's one way you could potentially use it if you wanted to. Okay. I don't scalp. Absolutely hate scalping. I think most people that scalp actually get wrecked. I don't know. Some people make insane money, some people don't. It's not my flavour. I prefer the longer term. Okay, on that note, that's the indicator covered. That's gone through quite a few things. Just, you know, gone through how to set your trading view up. The other thing, I see people having coloured backgrounds in trading view. Don't have a coloured background. Keep it neutral. And then it makes everything so much easier to see. Don't have a gradient. Yeah. Just keep it plain. You know, I wouldn't even have the grids. So let's have a look. Canvas, solid. Yeah. Grid lines. Okay, you can actually select none now. I've actually got them colored out to match the background because you couldn't have none. But like with the grid lines, it clogs up your chart too much. Why would you want that? Yeah. Let's have none. Okay, your crosser, make it nice and simple. Okay, I've just got a solid line. I've got the actual cross. I think you can just have it without the lines. The reason why I have the lines is it helps me when I'm drawing to put these levels on, because if I'm looking at a support point here, I also want to have a look over here and all the way along here. Like, is this a good support point? Is this a good resistance point? Yeah. So like all these little nooks and crannies help you become better. And there you go. By the looks of that retested. bang on it as we're doing this. Like, look at that. There you go. Look, on the 1 hour. And then on the 15-minute, almost pretty much pixel perfect. So, I mean, we've still got 2.5 minutes on the 15-minute for candle close, 17 minutes on the 1 hour, and then the 17 minutes on the 4 hour. So it'd be interesting to see what the next candles do from this. So if you're still about in that time, let's go. In the meantime, drop a couple charts in that you want me to have a look at, and I'll go over a couple charts, do some analysis. Let's see what we think. Yeah, we will. We'll find out in an hour, bro. Cool. So, Doge. Let's have a look at Doge, shall we? It's another thing that's closed that. So, if I open up a thing, I've got my own. I can't actually ever remove that layout. No matter what I do, it always like couldn't delete it. I don't know why. But this is basically like my layout over here for the 3 screens. Right, let's select Doge. Where is it? I should have it on it somewhere. There. Got it down as memes. Doge is actually a bit more than a meme. It is a meme, but it's a bit more than a meme. Hey, hello. Let's remove any drawings I had prior, because that gives you a bias that's potentially dangerous. Okay. Delete that. Okay. Let's have a look. This is the 4-day. We want the 4 hour. Okay, so like straight away, there's another thing you can do over the indicator with the red and the green backgrounds. But I kept it red and green because it's easy for people, but you can very quickly, very easily, straight away know the overall trend. Yeah. So like green is good, red is bad. Traffic light system. So I don't even need to do like that's the trend, guys, because we can see it. Okay, so I just get channel. Let's have a look. So there's a possibility. There's that. Okay, so we've had the breakout, but we come back in. Okay, let's have a look for the validation on this. It kind of is. It kind of is. I mean, I don't personally like the channel because like there's all this noise here. You know, it's way outside, but kind of is. So I'm gonna keep it for now. Okay, personally, I'd probably have a look. We had double top here, didn't we? You could say that's perfectly valid as well. 2 touches, 2 touches. So yeah, but I'm going to say that we've fallen back into that trend before the breakout. Okay, that's what I'm gonna roll this on at the minute. I could be completely wrong here. Probably Doge doesn't like me. Whenever I trade it, I get wrecked, mate. I'm not even gonna lie. So you just chose like my kryptonite of crypto. Alright, let's have a look. Okay. So let's put that as resistance. Okay. And then this is where I want the arrow. But no, what we want here, we want this. This is exactly what we want. So from the resistance line to that line, what have we got here, guys? What have we got there? That doesn't look good, does it? On the face of that. Because I'm not even sure what that wedge is called. I'm trying to. Is it a descending or an ascending? But then it would be inverse, possibly. Which actually, an inverse wedge could be good. Could be green. Could be green. Let's have a look. Let me go Google it a sec. See, we have to learn things every day ourselves, no matter what we do. Wedges trading. Let's have a look. I don't normally trade wedges, so rising wedge, downward converging. No. So it's no good. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I don't really do wedges, so rising, you got falling. It's got a flat top. That's the thing. Whereas like wedges and trading tend to be more like a channel but pointed, which is strange. Also, just seeing something else on the 1 hour, which I don't particularly like. Let's have a look. 1 second. Trying to think what it is. Hold on. Okay, so it's an ascending triangle, which is bullish. It's not a wedge. Okay, this is where I was getting confused. Okay, so I can't actually show this link, but I'll draw it out for you very quickly on the chart down here, on here. So we've got 1, 2. Okay, that there is an ascending triangle. Okay, you've got 1, 2. That there is a descending triangle, and then you've got 1, 2, and then you've got a symmetrical triangle. Okay, so the ascending triangle is actually a bullish pattern. Okay, so if where my channel is correct, okay, which is questionable, I'm not even going to deny that. If it's correct and that ascending triangle is valid and we bounce here, we are going up. Okay. Yeah, so it's called an ascending because the bottom is going upwards. A descending triangle is the top going downwards, and a symmetrical is they're both bottoms going up and the tops going down. Okay. And then a wedge is actually more. I'll draw this with the trend line tool. Silly name. So that there, Control C, Control V. Okay. A wedge would be more like that. So kind of like a triangle, but not an actual triangle, because it's not actually like complete, I presume. So like for example, if I wanted, I could draw a wedge here, you know, where it's coming down, and then also coming up. Yeah, that makes sense. Somewhat. It's just an incomplete triangle, I guess, wedges, by the looks of it. It's confusing, I guess. But on the 4 hour, as long as that stays rejected on this channel, and that triangle plays out, that's quite nice. Now, one thing, when you've got the premium edition of TradingView, okay, you get this indicator called All Chart Patterns. It's TradingView's own thing, okay. Now, straight away, that's not like nice, is it? Like you get conflicting stories, but like, so again, it's an indicator, so it depends on what you see, but it marks out all the patterns for you. Okay, so let's have a look. If I was to now, so it's got the bearish pennant, which is shown there. It's not really got the triangle, but it's saying my ascending wedge is actually a bearish pennant. So the bearish pennant is saying target's down here, 27 cents. I don't believe that. I don't like that. Yeah, we get rid of that. Okay, we don't like that. Okay, we just delete. Bye. We don't like bearishness. No. I mean, but it's perfectly valid, because my initial thought when I saw that was that this is going to go down, which is why I wanted to go Google actually what it is. But the ascending triangle means it goes up. Okay. Which is pretty cool. Oh, nice one. So now I received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Nice one. Cool. Thank you for the interaction, guys. It's appreciated. If the channel support bottom is how we're going up, we've got to break this resistance. So that would be the breakout. So let's have a look. Where's my tool? There. Say we entered here with the resistance for a breakout. Like it doesn't really give us a lot, does it? So that's pretty crap. This is why I don't like Doge. I can't trade Doge. I should stay well away from it. You know, but it's saying if your entry was at breakout, you know, there's 2.5% on the scalp. Like it's terrible. I don't look at that. You really chose my kryptonite here, mate. Alright, I'll tell you what. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. Let's do it how I treat it with Bitcoin. Okay. Gonna go from there to the peak. Okay, there you go. Like this is a bit better. Let's stick to what we know, shall we? Stick to what we do. Alright, there's your golden pocket. And then we're gonna want to do kind of just, I think this will be too close, but okay. I mean, it's valid. I'll take it. There you go, another golden pocket here. It's too close for how I'd normally like it, but there isn't a lot else to go off there. So now, right where that resistance is, look at that. where that resistance is, right in between the 786 and the 786 4241. So right here, I'm actually going to mark this as confluence. Okay, so that's what it is. It's resistance, but it's confluence. Okay. I don't really see anything else below at the minute. I'm happy with the way the golden pockets have worked. Let's delete the retracements. Okay. So, because it's come up a couple times, I'm actually going to delete this top one for now. Okay, because it seems to respect the bottom one, which means Doge seems to be respecting more on the longer term start of the channel trend. Okay, this is what this is telling me from what I can see. Yeah, seems to be respecting that fib a lot more. Okay, so let's have a look. 786 right at the bottom here. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, it's bouncing off that 786 bottom line. Yeah. So it's bouncing off that quite well at the minute. So that means we're going to have a squeeze here. The squeeze is imminent any time. Now, I do think we're actually going to go up more. And the reason why I say that is because we've already come down and we've took all this out the golden pocket every time. You know, it's gone through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times it's hit the golden pocket. Maybe reaches down, whacks it again. But I'd be surprised at this point. I'd definitely say we're going to go up more on Doge. But I've got to be careful. It could be a bullish bias. 50-50 here, guys. Maybe. I don't like how close it is to that resistance and how it's constantly rejecting. I like how it's respecting the golden pocket overall. It's difficult to say where it's going to go. I think up. I'm going to go with up because that's a bullish narrative. Okay. So what I'd like to see is for us to come up, test that, retest this, and flip it to support. Okay, that's the play. So on that basis, let's have a look. From here to there, back down to here. Gives you a bit more, but still not a lot. Don't know. I'm going to leave that there. I can't trade Doge. I don't like it in terms of trading. I actually got utmost respect for Doge. But trading wise, I can't do it. I suck at trading Doge, man. Especially when it's like this, because you can't make heads or tails out of this. You can't. You know, let me draw a bit of a better channel. There. Okay, let me remove. I'm not going to remove it. I'm going to hide it. And I'll hide the triangle. Okay, so that gives us a bit more clarification, but again, the resistance is right in the middle of the channel, so if it needs to break that resistance, like the confluence and the resistance, if it doesn't break that, then yeah, we're going to go down. That's the only thing I can say about it, really. Yeah. This is why I don't give signals. Alright, give me another one, guys. Give me another one. We'll do something better. We can do better. We'll find something. I mean, people who trade Doge, they do it all the time. You get used to the chart. So this is another thing. Like when you get used to a chart, trading that chart becomes so easy. Okay. Let's have a look. Sui. It's the only thing with having multi-screen layout. You've got to change the chart on each of them, which is frustrating. There's probably a setting I've got somewhere. Okay. See, Sui's a lot easier straight away. Let's have a look. Yeah. Nice and easy. Let's do a channel. Okay, for that one. And looks about right. Yeah. I mean, I don't actually trade Sui, to be honest. But looks easier. Definitely looks easier. Okay, we're going to want to draw a fib from here. Got a double top on Sui though. Just there, look. Um, let's take one from the bottom. See how well that reacts. Oh, I should have started this direction to start with, to be honest. Hit. Okay, there's not much difference in that. And then I'm going to go from there to there. Okay, let's draw a pockets. So I do it like this because it just makes it so much easier when I close them down. Like when I can hide the fibs. Some people don't like to hide the fibs, which is fine. You don't have to, but for me, it just makes it easier. Okay. You're saying there's a cup. I'll have a look in a minute. Probably right. I don't want to change my bias though. Right, so there's your golden pockets. Okay, let's have a look for confluence. 786. Right, there's some confluence right there. Let's change this to confluence. This is thick so I can get it. Okay, that's fine. Just about in the middle there. Now, I hate that sometimes you grab it and move it. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of confluence inside the golden pockets, like there. But I'd sooner have that as the golden pocket than a confluence, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's hide these fibs. Create a group, rename it to fibs. Let's hide them. Cool. Okay. Um. I mean, just off that, you know, you've kind of got the potential M. Potentially. I mean, I'd definitely take a more bearish stance short term on that, but then there's that support doesn't quite cut it. It's got weak support there. Stronger support down here because it's retested this level. Yeah. So I'll get rid of that. Could be that it finds support here as well, but that's just a bit stronger there. But support just below the confluence there. Again, it's not great support, but it's at the point of confluence. That's where your strongest support is there. Yeah. So you see like where it's flipped it, tested. Right, okay. Ideally, like I'm overall more bearish on this one, just because it's rejected off the top of the channel here. Okay. So, wrong one. I get confused with these arrows sometimes. So, no, I don't want uptrend, I want downtrend. There we go. Just to show that that's going to go down more. So I'd be looking for a retest of the support, possibly even the support line / golden pocket. So let's have a look. So let's do it about there. And then what I want to do is, can I reverse this? Yes. Okay. And then save this as first position. Okay. So it wouldn't like give a lot on these short time scales for scalps really. But I mean that's 10% to the top there. Your stop loss below there, that's like, it's not really great for that, is it? Let's face it. Because ideally, if you're re-entering here, you want your stop loss just below the golden pocket rather than down here. That would be too far down. You've lost too much there. Right, let's have a look at your cut for more short, long term, shall we? If you're on about this, like I get what you mean, but it's more of a bowl than a cup. Yeah. Whereas with bitcoins, let's have a look. Bitcoin's quite in your face sort of thing, whereas Sui, let's put it on daily so it's fairer. Hold on. You know, like this here, okay, would have been a better cup. So, trying to be pinpoint precise there. Isn't working, but there, yeah. So, like, you see the way it arches round, and then it's dropped down, and then took off. Okay. I mean, it probably arched down there rather, be more validated, and then it's jumped up. This one here, it's too fee shaped. Like it comes down and then it comes up. Okay, so you can't really. There's a good argument to be had here. Okay, because it kind of like comes down, comes up, and then it comes down, and then it shoots up again, which is exactly what a cup and handle does. Okay, but it's the way it's like more fee than C. So no, it's not. It's not that it's got to be deeper. Let me see if I can draw it a bit better. Let's use the paint tool. Okay, so you got like a bowl rather than a fee. Yeah. Okay. But with Sui, I think it's coming down, and see how it reacts at that midpoint. Okay. If it smashes through that midpoint, it's coming down to the golden pocket here. But I don't see it going lower, really. To be honest, it might even bounce at that confluence, which would be nice. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, we're on to the next candle now. No, 45 minutes on the hourly. 11 minutes on this one. And the hourly seems to be forming a nice little hammer there, which would be nice, wouldn't it? I wonder how my FET's doing. Not good. Rip. Go on, FET, do better. Do you know what I mean? Cool. How is that? Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. Alright, so on that note, guys, I've kind of gone quite in depth here with Bitcoin. Gone through basically the importance of setting up your trading view. I've gone through the indicator. I've gone through quite a bit tonight. I've been streaming it. How long have I been streaming for now? About nearly 3 hours. No, 2.5 hours. 3.5 hours. No, 2.5 hours. Okay. There isn't a lot more I can say on what to expect. You know, there's your weekly forecast. Is if it succeeds this retest, we're going up. If it fails the retest, we're coming back down. Okay, there's your positions that you kind of want to be looking at. Let's have a look. Downside. Let's have a look. I'll take time to that confluence 6%. Upside. There's your sort of targets 12%. So it's a 2-to-1 trade, basically. If you want to know, let's have a look. Your risk management is longs. Yeah, yeah. 2.03 risk reward ratio on that setup. It's not a brilliant setup, but it's there. I don't really do setups like that with a high stop loss. If I was entering now, I'd enter and put my stop loss sort of around about there. Bottom of this candle turns it into a 9.6 risk reward trade. That's how I do it. Everyone does it differently. So like my Bitcoin trade right now, let me put my entry exit on there. So the other thing about this tool is using the inputs. I love it. So on this I've got 1.2887. It's going to 100%. My entry price is so look 103,262. And my stop loss is 102,500. Okay, that's my stop loss. Okay, my profit, I'm actually aiming up here. So that's my trade at the minute that I've got open. That's a 21.86 risk reward. Okay. So, yeah, let's see how that goes, shall we? Be nice, wouldn't it? So, but if there's nothing else I can do for anyone, I am starting to get a little bit tired. I very much appreciate the interaction game. It's very good, thank you. The streams are based on basically people's interaction. So the more people that interact, more people that ask questions, the more stuff we can discuss and get to know about. So yeah. But until Friday, I guess. Peace out, guys.